I guess this is clean, eviction, financial.
Will it tell you like how many people you send out to, or how many landlords have collected your?
We're working on that. So what we built right here is our MVP. Are you guys all familiar with like the MVP terminology, ideology? Yeah, does anybody know? I just died.
They better be.
Okay, so then I'll just leave it as it is. Yeah, so this is our MVP. We cut out a lot of things, but we are working on a dashboard for tenants to be able to track which apartments they've applied to. But I mean, the process from here is insanely easy. You just click send reports, and you can add in however many property managers you want to add to. And this is your application. You just send it over, they get all your information and approve or deny you. Right now we're baking in like a human element to the process so that when you send an application, a Finret agent will also call your landlord to confirm that they received it and basically assist in whatever way they can.
So you said that since the tenant is able to see the reports themselves and they can go in and change things,
You
would
can't
it-
change it. You have to. So you can't change it. You have to dispute it with TransUnion, and then TransUnion changes it.
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think you bring up a good point. The reason that we didn't allow people to change it was that the reason landlords today can't accept applications or credit reports from people is that if you bring in a credit report on paper, like it's so easy to Photoshop. Like it's like it takes like 5 minutes. You could have like a 2,000 credit score in like I don't know a couple seconds using Photoshop. So why we're different is that like we're a trusted repository. We don't let people change any data before sending it over. Yeah.
So you said it's a one-time fee. Does that mean like, so like when they put out all the applications, what if in a year or two they want to apply for another apartment? Is it still, can they just come back to your website and do it all again, or are they going to have to pay that fee again?
You have to re-pull the data basically every month. So you would have to pay the fee again. The way that it works is that landlords want an up-to-date credit report. The problem being that, like, say, like, I have one from June and it's July right now, and on July 5th I just opened up, like, I don't know, like, I ran up, like, a $10 million charge on my credit card. And they need to have the most up-to-date credit report so that they can catch that before they accept you.
I have a question regarding the credit report section.
Yep.
Is one of the things that I found that for my work we run credit for a lot of our customers, and the question that we get asked is, you know, what are you going to do with my credit score? How secure is my social security number and kind of information I'm getting out to you?
Excellent. I've been waiting for someone to ask this question. The data security and privacy question, I think, is one of the foremost questions on the mind of our customers. We go through a lot to protect our customers' data. One, we delete all the identifying information after 1 month. Two, like we keep everything on their enterprise-grade servers. So the odds of these things getting hacked is, like, unless it's a state actor, like we're talking like Russia or like China, not like Joe Schmo. This thing's probably not going to get hacked, right? It's pretty secure. And then for the information that we do save, we anonymize all of it. So instead of like Robert being saved in the database, I'm saved as like a random hash. So I'm like B58123, and then any data that's saved is attached to that instead of identifying information. So even if we are hacked, people can't tie the data that we have back to a person.
Another thing that you could emphasize in your pitch is that since you're paying a one-time fee, and that means you're only running your credit score that one time, a lot of people are like afraid that if they apply to all these places, that it's going to keep dinging their credit score, because every time you check your credit or someone checks your credit, it'll like knock off some points, you know?
That's a good point. Reduce our efforts. Yeah, that's a really good point. That's a really good point.
Are there anyone that are using the webpage right now, or how many?
So this thing hasn't even been released yet. We literally finished building this like last week. So nobody's using this. On the other system, on our landlord system, we have like roughly 100 users who are like property managers and companies using it to screen tenants.
So, a related question, so you've got a business model here that is a service that you're providing, connecting, providing information from tenants to landlords. I get that. Companies like yours frequently, as you go down the road and get 2, 3, 4, or 5 years worth of doing this, you're going to be creating a history with, somebody might come repeatedly to you, and a couple of people have mentioned that, I rent this year, well, then I move, I leave this area, I go somewhere else, I might use you again. So you start to build some history with me. Have you looked at whether there are opportunities that as you build this over time, you actually start to end up creating data and information that has its own value, like a renting history for people?
Yeah, so this part, I'll tell you guys, this part can't go on the internet because like it's not supposed to be released like on the internet. But so the reason that we're saving this anonymized data is that we're trying to automate the entire tenant screening process. Instead of having landlords look at, like, if you look at this sheet right here, like, it's a lot of data, right? Like the credit report, it's like when you look at all this information, it's pretty hard to digest, right? A credit score, a background report. Like, as a landlord, the question is like, well, if they have like a traffic ticket, how do I weight that in? If they have an eviction, how is that weighted? If their income is slightly below whatever, how is that weighted? And what we're doing is collecting data on how these tenancies are going and creating scores that can better help recommend to both tenants and landlords whether or not a match is a good fit. Basically, I mean, a lot of it boils down to income. A lot of it boils down to, like, I don't know, what's your occupation? Like, are you gonna have to move soon? But yes, we are working on automating and collecting information to help with that automation.
So you can do predictive analytics out of that data, or you, down the road at some point, when you've got enough history, you
Yeah,
can
we
do
have
predictive
a
analytics.
data scientist on our team and a data science advisor. It's a big component of the long-term plan.
Yep.
Yep. Is anybody here interested in data science? Anybody? One. Cool. Alrighty. I mean, the last thing I have on my agenda is to talk a little bit about the business plan. I was gonna hit you guys with some dank memes, but I don't really know if I can get that up on the screen. Maybe I can. Let me see if I can here. Because I wanted to get some feedback as part of so I was sitting down with our marketing team, and we were trying to figure out like what kind of message would resonate on a college campus. And I hate myself for it, but like we were literally just like tossing around dank memes, being like, dude, these are hilarious. I'm trying to figure out how to get them up there.
Do you have an HDMI on that?
I do not.
I don't have a dongle with me.
Maybe.
There's just some images.
Yeah, they have, yeah, so the one, I think, I don't know, it's like
Is that
Yeah, so it's complete.
because there are two who were wrong, right? Because one is like more in-depth version, like give an example, is that the one? This one? Oh, yeah.
That's in the trash.
This is not a regular computer.
Okay, no,
Probably not.
no worries.
Where did you find it?
What was it?
It's alright, don't worry about it. Alright.
Some people.
Can you guys all see this?
It's like last
Can
week.
you see this?
Good meme.
Are you guys all familiar with this meme right here? So like we have like 4 or 5 of these that we were planning on like running around running Facebook ads on campus. Do you guys think that that would be funny, or like would people just be like, what would it be stupid? Like, you saw look at it.
Can you read it out loud?
So okay, are you guys familiar with like the Morpheus meme where it's like, what if I told you? Like I think the text is, Finret pays for your application fees, or something. We have another one too that I thought was pretty funny. This is this is like the Black Panther guy. It says rental application fees. We don't do that here. So, yeah, you like this one better? And then the last one that we had, and I don't know if this is, it's like on, I guess I can show this one. So then here's the Doge one. Can you guys all see this? This is like, it's like, the Shiba Inu dog.
Yeah.
So like, my question is, I haven't been in college for like 4 years. Would it be cheesy if a company came onto campus and like basically just threw some memes around and they were like, hey, like, apply for apartments with us, here's like a dank meme, here's another one. Like, how do you guys think that would go over? Would it catch eyes?
I feel like that would get more attention than like the typical ad, because like there's so many of those around that we're all just like, oh, you know, put this and meet in here and meet, and like, but if it was like a meme, I feel like you look at it just to see what it is, not it, but the regular advertisements people pass by a lot.
I think Ro's right, because walking into this building, I don't know if you saw it, but there was a picture of a dog on the door. It says, have you seen me? And then there's a dog on there, and then it goes, now you have. It's kind of like,
That's all it
what? So I think that would be definitely much better than an actual ad.
Okay. So I'm going to put a plus next to memes. The marketing team is going to be happy. A lot of them are actually Santa Clara University students. So they're like super excited about this meme thing.
You need like a link or something for the student to go to. You can't just say Finret, what are they going to do?
Or a QR code.
Yeah.
QR code.
Do people like use QR codes? Is that pretty common? I like never use them. QR codes are okay.
I want to get it, because I have curiosity about that also. How many of you use QR codes? Like if there's a QR code available, you'll go to it. How many of you just avoid QR codes like the plague? Okay, so there's more on the avoid. Although they've gotten easier, because at least in the latest iOS, if you just take a picture of it, your phone automatically says, oh, that's a QR code, and jumps to your browser. So you don't have to pull up the QR app anymore. That was a pain in the neck.
Yeah. And like
Yeah.
oh, okay. So like social media handles.
So what was your suggestion, Johnny?
Well, you can't just put a meme on there and not have any place for the viewer to go to.
Right.
They're gonna say, oh, Finret, and then blah blah.
Yeah. Maybe first on the last side.
Yeah, going off that, I feel like Instagram and Twitter, just social media being an excellent platform to incorporate like your funny side, you know, and attract your audience with through memes, but also show like a more serious side, and kind of display like your business concept and how your consumers can benefit from that. And then you could also like just go like on UC Davis if that's your targeting specifically for now, and just follow all their students. You could go through hashtags and just go like search on is it Aggies? Is that my mascot?
Yeah.
So like hashtag Aggies and see what pops up and just follow all those people and advertise through there. You probably target a lot of people doing
Interesting. Yeah, I actually don't have Instagram, so I have no idea how it works. But I'll pass that suggestion on to Pablo.
4 years out of college, you're completely out of date.
I know, my sister tells me that all the time, because nobody uses Facebook anymore. Stop messaging people there. Yeah.
So, kind of what William was saying, with Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat and like Twitter, I know you can do localized promotions of like tweet or a photo that you post. Is that something you guys are already incorporating into your strategy, or?
So it's interesting. This kind of gets into the business model shift. originally we were a B2B company, and what we found was that running things like Facebook ads, we ran LinkedIn ads, none of them worked. Well, I think Facebook, when you run ads there, it automatically like syndicates to Instagram as well. We had ridiculously bad conversion rates. Like we were paying like, it must have been like hundreds of dollars to acquire a customer. It was horrible. So what we did was we switched to Google AdWords, and we brought our cost per acquisition down to around $10, which was, I mean, that's like, we're doing that all day. We just tripled our marketing budget, because like you're just putting points into a machine and like having customers come out. Like, I don't even know. But we're shifting to a B2C strategy. So then like now we're going back into the realm of Facebook, Instagram, even LinkedIn. So I kind of like lost your original question, but I hope that answered it.
Yeah, I was thinking like one of the things that kind of came to mind as you were talking about that is incorporating like your own specific hashtag. Something like hashtag Finret or hashtag, no more fees.
Yeah,
something
that's
where like it's easily recognizable by a potential customer that they can click on, and it takes you either to people who either use that hashtag before that had a successful company, or taking it directly to like your company's like webpage or profile on one of the social media websites.
I love the hashtag no fees. That's like, I mean, that's a pretty great hashtag. Like, I'm a cheap person. Like, I love saving money. Like, what can I say? That's a good one. That's a good one.